Facebook, YouTube world. Good morning.
Let that rock.
On my way back from John Jay. I peep a shorty as she's walking to the train. I tap her on the shoulders. Excuse me, miss, but can I get your name? She said, my name is Renee. I said, I got a whole lot to say. So may I walk you to your subway? She said, if you want. So yo,
What's up, y'all? This is Homeboy Fishing. Chocolate Jefe with football. With a little dab of fish. Week 6 of the NFL. Big things, big happenings. And we're going to give you our fix on how we interpret the NFL. Break it down, Chocolate Jefe.
Check this out, folks. Let me turn the music off.
That's that old.
Hey, this is that old school Lost Boys Renee. Still rocks.
Still rocks to this day.
Hey, real quick, just want to let you guys know it's our first fall day. It is absolutely stunning outside. So if you got any kids that have been begging to go outside and throw the football or anything else going on like that, get it in. Get it in. Oh, what's that? All fishing. It's that crappie season, right?
Yeah.
Hey, check this out. Last week, our show was hijacked by JJ.
Jerome
You need to lock your door, man.
I know. He broke in there. 8 tracks everywhere.
8 tracks. You got 45s. You got doobies.
Smelling like
Brute
33.
Old English.
Old English.
You know what the deal. But hey, JJ held it down. I like JJ's moments, man. JJ, holla at me back in town, man. Check this out. This week's rundown. We're going to give it to you like we always do. We're going to go through our big bass games of the week. But excuse me, that's one of the third things. First thing we're going to do is the fishing forecast.
A whole big news.
We're going to do an NFL Power 4, big bass games. And then we're going to get some fantasy football tips. And we're also going to give you some HB. No, this is for college football. I'm all ahead of myself. I'm a little bit off, man.
We've been out. We've been off the show. That's the problem.
It must be the cold weather. But anyway, let's get this thing started. Hey, fishing forecast.
Look at here. Big news happening, y'all. We out here broadcasting live, so we got people looking at us, walking behind us, all kind of things. But it's that time when you woke up Friday morning. I know y'all felt it in the air, that cool weather. So you know what that means? Get your crappie gear together. Check out the IG. I hit it up yesterday. I took a kid fishing. You take a kid fishing, you'll make a kid smile.
Correct.
Take a kid fishing, he'll know how to eat for the rest of his life. And remember something. Crappies make me happy, in the words of Clark. Break it down.
Crappies make you happy. So right now, this is crappie season. And what do crappies eat?
Crappie, you can start off, find you a bush in the water, buy you a dozen of minnows, run you about an 8-inch lead from the float, 1 split shot, throw it out there in the water. If it goes under, it's a crappie. Don't jerk it all hard. You snatch his lips off.
When you say 8-inch lead, what do you mean by that?
I mean, just beginners. Like this.
You got that?
The 8-inch lead, measure it out by that long. 8 to 12-inch lead. Throw it out there. If it goes on the water, don't snatch it out of there. Take your time and just start winding. You'll get you a big black crappie. Check out the IG page.
What type of hooks? The
gold hooks, little small gold hooks. I hook my crappies through the eyes. Some people hook them through the tail. Some people say it's cruel, but you know what I call it? I call it getting some.
That's the minnows, right? I got you. Hey, check this out. That's good fishing advice. He told you how to catch them and what technique to use. But check this out. We're going to get into our NFL Power 4. Hey, Homeboy Fishing. Get it started. Who you like?
Okay, my number 4 team goes out to the New Orleans Saints.
The Saints are back in.
You broke records yesterday, but Peyton Manning said he still holds record if you saw the commercial. So keep it pumping. My number 3 team goes to the Carolina Panthers. It shouldn't even been close last week. But we know one thing. In crunch time, we got us a kicker. And you know what? We get Thomas Davis back. And I'll get into that later, but defense will be a lot stronger. My number 2 team goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Surprisingly, they're only 12th in passing, but 6th in first down. So they have a lot of ball control offense. All the tricks and trades are over. Gotcha. I'll get into that one later. And my number 1 team goes to the LA Rams. They're number 1 in passing. They're led by Coop and Cook. And, they're going to be hard to start. I mean, I don't know. If you got Coop on your fantasy league football team,
he's quiet, kept kicking it, bro. Hey,
but
your top 4, those are solid, man. Those are solid top 4. Here, my top 4 is like this. Number 4 I got is the New Orleans. Excuse me. Number 4 is the Carolina Panthers. They're number 4 team, and why? Because 63-yard field goals aren't an everyday performance. Gano's kick was beautiful and saved a bad day for Cam Newton. We make kicks like that, people. It makes the team a believer. It makes chocolate a believer. Number 3 is the New Orleans Saints. Congratulations to Drew Brees. He is the new NFL passing yard holder. He's doing it for the brothers out there who are under 6 feet.
Yeah.
With him and Peyton Manning, me and you.
Yeah, we under 6 feet
Under
now,
6 feet.
but I'm thick. Look at that neck, football neck.
With him and quarterback Sean Payton, they're going to be in every game. My number 2 team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought Jacksonville's defense was good.
Boy.
Cresswell for it. But KC made them boys look average, man. But this week's game, a trip to New England is going to prove a lot. We're going to see how good Kansas City is. Number 1 is Gurley. The Los Angeles Rams, and Gurley is their man. He's a man on a mission. They're good on both sides of the ball. Some bad boys. All roads to the NFC, to the Super Bowl, go through LA right now.
Yep.
And those are our top 4.
California.
Hey, bro.
I see you when I get there.
It does rain. Touchdowns. Those cats are scoring some touchdowns. But check this out. We're going to get into our topic of the week. Shout out to Torrance out there for the Kappas out there. Listen, our topic of the week is something you guys are seeing. So I asked Homeboy Fishing, is there such a thing as an elite defense in the NFL anymore? Is it? So, Homeboy Fishing, you want to talk to that first?
Look here. Where would the NFL be without players like Ronnie Lott, Steve Atwater,
I got those same 2 cats as references on my league.
Singletary, Mean Joe Green, who made millions off of punishing quarterbacks. I remember the day when LT broke Joe Theismann's leg. Ooh. I mean, nowadays, what would they be?
Snap.
They'd be broke because they be keeping these fines. And especially now with the quarterbacks getting to do this passing out routine, and they're going to get a flag.
Like basketball players.
Taking it.
Yeah.
Fall back. You know what, NFL? Shame on you. I watched some of the highlights of college football this morning, and those quarterbacks are getting punished week after week after week, and then they keep coming back. And when they keep coming back, they make them stronger and harder. But then when they get to the NFL, don't touch me. Come on, NFL.
So the defense nowadays, you talked about the rules. So is that why we don't have any elite defenses?
That's why you know elite defenses. The rules. I mean, come on, NFL.
Hey, check this out. Valid points. It's funny, but we don't write the same notes, but at the end of the day, we kind of come to the same place.
We don't talk about our notes until the day of
the show. And so what I would like to say is the question was saying, is there such a thing as an elite defense? No. Why? Because the rules favor the offense. Last year's Super Bowl was the second highest scoring ever. They scored 74 points. So what did the NFL do? Make more rules. More rules to protect the quarterback. So wide receivers aren't afraid to go across the middle, score points. So as a defensive back, old school safeties like Ronnie Lott and Steve Atwater will be called dirty players these days. And will be get hefty NFL fines. Will never see the field because they be suspended the entire time.
But their heads are in the Hall of Fame for doing what they.
Well, the game of football has changed. And so elite defenses would establish themselves by knocking the brakes off people who come across that middle. So shout out to my old college and high school teammates for catching that rock across the middle. Because that was some grown man stuff.
Grown man.
Also, quarterbacks don't have a time clock in their head. They knew if I don't throw this ball within a few seconds, Lawrence Taylor, Mean Joe Green, or Deacon Jones is going to take my head off.
No question.
Literally, by the face mask. But nowadays, you can hit the quarterbacks, but don't hit them too hard. So like you said earlier, old school defensive ends, like Lawrence Taylor, they'll be fine. They won't even play in the game because they begin.
But don't that make weaker quarterbacks?
It does make weaker quarterbacks because the NFL is now a 7-on-7 football game. If you ever know anything about high school football game, go watch it. NFL is now a 7-on-7 football game.
They hit hard in the high school football games now.
7-on-7. They spread you out and they throw the ball and there's no tacklers touch. That's the NFL nowadays. Lots of points. That's what people want to see. So as the society softens, so does our gladiator sports. Hopefully the new AAF league.
Vince McMahon coming for you all.
Hopefully
he's coming.
It's going to bring some of the nastiness back to football because there's no such thing as an elite defense. Jacksonville has balling, but you saw last week there's no such thing. But you can't hit them. You can't hit them.
Down. What you supposed to do? Tell me how you supposed to grab a Cam Newton check Carolina Panthers.
I don't know, man. It's just
and not
I
hit
mean,
him
you
hard.
gotta find a balance there. Football is one of the true gladiator sports that we have left. Not anymore, folks.
MMA.
Chocolate out. Hey, we just keep it moving this show. Our next segment, and the one you like, is the Big Bad Games of the Weeks.
But you know what?
What's that?
I don't care about what you like. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about what you think. All I care about is what Homeboy Fishing thinks. And the number one game, first game we're going to talk about is Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got to go into Cincinnati. Big Ben and company got a big win last week versus ATL. Sorry, Atlanta. Time to throw in the flag. I hear people already talking about.
You know why?
Atlanta
fans are fickle. Y'all got to do better, Atlanta fans.
But all Cincinnati has is Green. He won a game for him against pretty good guy. And Pittsburgh has a
Where's
Terminator.
he from? Where's Green?
Where Green from? South Carolina. Greenwood, South Carolina, y'all. We put out players.
South Carolina.
We put out players, ballers. So we know about. He was going across the middle back in. Woo! He played Big 16 ball. Nah, he went to Greenwood High School.
No.
He went to Somerville?
Somerville.
Oh, he went to Somerville.
Being coach, Livingstone College went to Greenwood.
Yeah.
Shout out to Livingstone.
But, you know, Pittsburgh got the Terminator on that team, James Conner.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like him.
I like him, too. He's a hard-knock player. He went over adversity. Remember, he had Hodgkin lymphoma.
That's right.
In Pittsburgh. He fought through there, put his weight back on, and was drafted.
Hey, so y'all don't have to Google that. That's a form of cancer.
Yeah.
For some of our slower fans. Keep going.
Yeah. And Antonio Brown, he's still putting up the numbers. He's getting target over 80% of the time. So those two will be able to score at will because all Cincinnati got is Green. And they shut down Atlanta offense. They can shut down Cincinnati offense. Steelers by 7. T. Willie, that's for you. Steelers win today.
Oh, Steelers. Shout out to T. Willie. Steeler fan. Shout out to Sterling Taylor, Steeler fan.
Leslie
Shout out to
Davila,
Leslie
my
Davila,
brother.
Steeler fan.
Y'all will win today.
But that was Homeboy Fishing's opinion.
Number one.
This Chocolate Hefe's opinion. Steelers at the Bengals. I like the Steelers in this one. Let the Hefe tell you why. Pittsburgh owns Cincinnati.
Own them.
Over the last 5 years, the last 10 games, Cincinnati has only won once.
Doesn't mean they hook 'em.
So let me say this. If Cincinnati happens to pull off the upset, they will win the division. You hear me? They'll win the division. But that's not going to happen. Pittsburgh Steelers by 7 on the road.
We don't even talk about these notes. We got the same.
Because you know football.
Yeah.
We're trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Next game, Panthers. Our Carolina Panthers at those Washington Redskins that just took a butt whipping on Monday. Homeboy Fishing.
Shout out, salute to Thomas Davis. He is returning this week, and we will need him. It will be that old school versus new school. Thomas Davis versus Adrian Peterson. Or will it be Cam Newton versus Josh Norman? We never know because you know what? Josh Norman, you was benched last week for getting burnt.
Ooh.
Your foot speed is not the same and you're not all the way. In Carolina, we got some Johnny Blaze out there. Who you cover, John? Who you cover, Josh? We have no idea who you cover, but whoever you covering, Josh, you'll get burnt. Because you know why? You're getting old, son. The game is turning. And coming off a short week after getting whooped on Monday night, Panthers in a big one by 17. You heard it here. Panthers in a big one by 17. Watch the Redskins. J.J. Ferguson. Y'all go down today.
Hey, Panthers at the Redskins. I like the Panthers in this one too. And let Chocolate tell you why. Attention Redskin fans, especially my cousin Primo. No team was going to beat New Orleans on Monday. Drew Brees was going for the record. Sean Payton was throwing that football. It was not going to happen on Monday. So, it is what it is. But Washington defense sure did help them out a lot. They blew at least 2 coverages for touchdown. And they put Josh Norman on the bench. But let me tell you something. No time to feel sorry, bro, the Redskin fans, because here comes Carolina. We play a physical type of football. Smash mouth. Washington smash mouth, but not so much. But we do a lot better in Carolina. So, as you said earlier, Carolina gets their heart and soul back. Thomas Davis, who's going to be playing with a heavy heart because he lost his father last week. He might have 20 tackles in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it just scratches my head on this one that the odds makers, Vegas has us as underdogs here. We're 2-point dogs on the road, bruh. But in Espanol, Ganolo does it again. Carolina by 3 on the road,
Let me break
baby.
some down to you. This is a fact about Carolina, Cam Newton and Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton is rated number 1 in the red zone. Y'all hear that out. Cam Newton is the number 1 quarterback inside the red zone right now. So when we get the ball down there, we don't kick field goals. We kick them from far. We score a touchdown. Move on to
there
the
we go. So Washington, watch out here. And our game of the week is a big one. Everyone's talking about it. We said it earlier. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots. Homeboy Fish, you want to start or want me to start?
Yeah, I got this. Tom Brady get his buddy back. He get Edelman back this week.
He got back last week. He did pretty good, too.
Yeah, buddy. And you know what? This is what the entire NFL been waiting on. Not because it's such a big hype game. Not because of, all the points getting scored. It's because of what Bill Belichick is about to do to the Kansas City Chiefs. He's going to expose the NFL to how to beat this team. Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. He can bring up a scheme to shut down the tricks and trades. Last year, they beat him on the first game of the season because they didn't have time to see it. Bill Belichick has seen this now. Now, since he's seen it, he's going to shut down this Kansas City tricks and trade. Kansas City, you will be out my top 5, my Power 4 next week. And his defense will be too complex for Mahoney to read after a second-year quarterback. Yeah, you can get rid of it fast, but you don't know who's back there and who's coming at you. Pat's in a close one by 3. David Goodwin down for you. New England Patriots win by 3.
Man.
At home, too? Come on, man.
Hey, bro. Hey, Steven. Hey, Homeboy Fishing, baby bro Steven. Hey, we've always thought of liking some things, and this is another one, bro. We didn't have any differences this week. I like the Patriots, too. And let the Jefe tell you why. New England is a different team at home. They lost a couple of games this year. People are like, oh, New England's going to break. They played at home 2 in a row. They played with a chip on their shoulder at home. And they showed the bravado and arrogance of a true Boston fan in that Boston nation. But these are not the old Chiefs. Their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, can make every throw on the field in the books. Some that are in the books and some that aren't on the books. The Chiefs are tough this year. But the Patriots at home, they're Wrangler tough. A lot different. Wrangler, like Wrangler jeans tough. Anyway, the game is going to be all about matchups. You said it earlier. Belichick excels in this area. He excels in finding a weak point. So New England needs to throw the first punch and get Kansas City to be one-dimensional. Play catch-up football. So I think New England's defensive end, Trey Flowers, will be the difference in this one. The Chiefs will suffer their first loss of the season. Patriots by 7 at home.
You know what? I'm glad we both think the same because we know football. Because football is what it's all about. And if you ain't watching this, you ain't watching nothing. Hey, everyone, hit this like and share button and tell people about us. We tune in every Saturday morning at 8:30.
Yeah, we're going to give it to you real, baby. Hey, we're going to get into our knockout pool. Our knockout pool for our new listeners is when you play in a pool where you have to pick an NFL winner each week. A different team each week. We've had one loss this week because of Minnesota, but we've been absolutely on point. And we're going to be absolutely on point again. Our knockout pool team of the week is the Green Bay Packers.
Tell me why.
Because San Francisco sucks. They have absolutely nothing to be afraid of.
Nothing.
They're probably one of 3 teams in the NFL, bad teams in the NFL. Buffalo's one, any other. You can also throw Oakland in there, too. They're bad. And what's the name? Rodgers playing at home. He's getting healthy. Hey. I don't see this being close. Green Bay is going to beat the brakes off.
But what made Garoppolo think he could run over that free safety?
I don't know. I thought the NFL, we said it earlier, in the elite defensive, but you run out there the quarterback, you child defensive back.
Yeah, you try and...
You play it at your own risk on that one, buddy.
Play it at your own risk.
Girl.
I'm telling you.
That's a JJ moment. You just did a JJ moment.
Man.
JJ done rubbed off in his cat. But check this out. Now we're going to give you our big stick fantasy football tip of the week. Okay.
I've been pretty bad.
You've been okay.
No,
I've
been bad.
We have a league here that we put out there. It's called the Big Stick Fantasy Football League.
I've been pretty bad.
Yours truly, Chocolate Jefe, is undefeated, which is expected. But I want to also say some things, too, for all those other people out there who are new, who are playing in other leagues, and including this one. You have 1 week away from the halfway point in the regular season. So you are one of 2 people. You are still fully engaged or you completely tuned out.
Hey.
I'm going to give you a clue. If you haven't won a game yet, come here. Okay. It's probably over.
I won one, though. Hey, don't count me out of that. I won one.
But you still play an important role.
Why is that?
Because you need to basically fill your lineup each week because you get an opportunity of knocking out someone from the playoffs. Think about someone who beat you, who needs one game to get into the playoffs. your team can be that team, knock them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So still stay fully
I
engaged
still got hope.
and still fill out your lineup during the bye week. Make sure your lineup is full so you can pull out upsets and don't mess up the playoff rankings.
Do you think I'm still in it with one win?
Of course you are. We only got 8 people in our league. You're still in it.
I'm still in it. I'm coming for you, young Jefe.
Young Jefe.
Young Jefe.
You play Young Jefe? Oh, my God.
I played young Jefe last week, and he beat the brakes off me.
Oh, wow. Well, check this out. Our last tip of the week is our fantasy football stud. If you play fantasy football, if you got Tom Brady, he is going to be on fire. They don't call him Big Game Brady for nothing.
TB does what he do.
Kansas City is going to score points, so New England is going to score more. So he is my fantasy stud of the week.
Get it up.
Hey, man.
What's
As
up,
always, hey, Mom. As always, we come to the end of our show, man. I don't really have much to say. How about you? Huh?
Uh-oh. Remix.
Well, hey, we want to thank you all for tuning in today. It's fall. It feels good in here. You see we got on long sleeve shirts.
I don't, but the sweatshirts are coming. So be tuning in. You may get your Homeboy Fishing sweatshirt. And remember what they say? Kiss my bass. This is football with a dab. Fishing, Homeboy Fishing, Chocolate Jefe. Kiss my bass.
Hey, check this out. As always, the college show's coming up next. Stay tuned, baby. We're going to break it down.
Kiss my bass.
Deuces.
You too.